Hi traders, and welcome to today's Trader Q&A. So this is a new YouTube show that we decided to start up because basically over the years of teaching and training lots and lots of traders, we found that we get a lot of the same questions come up over and over again. So what we decided to do was create sort of like a questions and answers bank that everybody could go to, day, night, whenever it is, and kind of get all of the answers to their questions as opposed to having to wait for us to reply to all of their emails, okay? So what we've done is we sent an email out to our community and we asked them to ask us literally any question they have about trading, anything that's on their mind, which basically will help us get this show started. And as we progress through the weeks and months and years, that hopefully we do this show for you. You guys can obviously ask any questions that you like as well, and it will kind of become the definitive resource for all trading related questions. So what we will do, I'm not going to have time to go through all of the questions because we did get a lot after we sent out the email to our community. But hopefully over the next couple of weeks, I'll get through all of the questions that came in and then we can get on to all of the viewers' questions as well. So starting with Asif. Asif asked the question, I am struggling with my trading. The problem is I hold down a full-time job working long hours, so I'm struggling to be able to afford to trade and also have the time to sit at scheduled times. What do you suggest? So first of all, in terms of the affordability, I mean, unfortunately, that's not something that I can directly help you with right now. Obviously, we can help you when we teach you how to trade and stuff like that. We can teach you how to build your accounts and how to build your capital. But in terms of getting that initial starting bank, I guess it really just comes down to, saving, beavering away, cutting back on some things. I know we don't like to do it, but sometimes you just have to prioritize and say that, this is what I want to do and really sort of just save your money as best that you can. In terms of being able to sit at scheduled times and stuff like that, this is something that for me is actually very, very important. I don't mind how much time you spend, whether it be half an hour, whether it be 2 hours, but I do believe that you need to be consistent in your approach to trading, as in, you can't sit there and say, oh, I'm going to do a bit of trading now because I've got 5 minutes spare time, or I might do a little bit tomorrow. I really believe that you have to be consistent in your approach. You have to be disciplined, because only once you're disciplined can that sort of carry through to your trading. If your whole approach to getting involved in analyzing the markets and sitting down at times is kind of, up in the air and is chaos ultimately, then your trading is going to be the same. So in answer to the question, you really have to find some time. I don't know when that is. I don't mind whether it's in the morning if you have to wake up half an hour earlier, if you have to go to bed half an hour later, that's fine. You don't need a lot of time. If you've got a full-time job, you don't need to spend hours and hours in front of your screens. Actually, if you just trade the daily charts, you need sort of half an hour a day to look at your charts. And we actually have some members that do that. They spend maybe half an hour, maximum an hour in the evening analyzing their charts, and they do very, very well. Kind of set, forget, walk away, happy days, happy trading. So I hope that answers the question for you. I know that probably it's not going to be exactly what you wanted as an answer, but unfortunately that is my view. Then we have Val. Val says, have you and Nikki always earned your living from trading? So there are two parts to this, Val. First of all, have we earned our living from trading? Yes, we have at points in time. Now, we don't currently earn all of our living from trading. We earn a good portion of it from our trading and from our investing, but we run other businesses as well. So it would be wrong for me to sit there and say to you, yes, absolutely every single penny that we getting comes from our trading, because it doesn't. Obviously, we're sat here. You know us because of Traders Corner, so we derive some of our income from Traders Corner. We've started investing in properties. We also have a business where we basically trade physical commodities. So we do a bunch of different things. Nikki and I are very, very entrepreneurial at heart. I think that comes from our family. Our family are like that as well. They invest, but they have other businesses as well. And so I guess it was always inevitable that we do that. We enjoy business. Why not? Right? But in answer to your question, I think kind of digging down into it, you want to know whether it's possible to earn your living from trading. Absolutely it is. Before we got involved in Traders Corner, in our early days of trading, we did derive our income from, solely from our trading. But obviously now we have other businesses, so we derive it from multiple different places. Okay. Then we have a question from Lawrence, and Lawrence says, is there a simple, powerful indicator which tells us where the momentum is in our favor with a buy or a sell trade? My trading style is buying at the top and selling at the bottom of so many setups, which are not in fact setups because I've managed to misjudge them, which I think that is sort of the story of a lot of traders of lives, right? Retail traders. You kind of, you try to buy tops, you want to buy high and sell higher, but you end up buying the highs and then it turns around and knocks you out. So the first question is, is there an indicator that will show me where the momentum is? And momentum, by its definition, is sort of like the speed at which price is moving. And if you're looking for an indicator to tell you that, it's going to tell you that once the momentum is over, because indicators are based on what's happened to the price as opposed to what is happening with it right now. So, I don't have a problem with indicators. I use indicators myself. For my day trading, there are quite a few indicators that we use. But if when I'm looking for momentum, I don't rely on any indicator for that. I do that solely with my eyes. I use my eyes. I look at the charts. If the chart's moving particularly quickly, there's momentum there. If it's not moving very quickly, if it's not moving, harmonically, I like to say. So if you see a little move up, if you see 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forward, 4 steps backwards, then the price isn't really moving anywhere with any momentum. If it's clear which side is in control of the markets, if you don't have to squint, if you can look at the chart and say the bulls are in control here, this is a buyer's market, then you have momentum in the market. Okay. When it comes to making sure you're getting involved in the right breakouts, again, that comes to really understanding the story. Okay, that every market has an energy, it has a story about it, and us as traders, it's our job. We're like the detectives. We have to put together all of the clues, and then once we put together the clues and we built up a picture, built up a case, that will tell us whether or not you need to be in a trade or not. Okay, so unfortunately, it's not black and white. I know a lot of us want it to be black and white, but the sooner you kind of accept that, it's a bit more of an art, it's not just a science, and the sooner you'll be a lot more successful with your trading. Okay, so let's move on. We have David says, hello, I do have a couple of questions. I have a question on my account size. I'm not going to say the account size, it's not fair to him. I've been risking 2%, which is 10% per pip, which will not make very much money. I'm trying to create $100 to $150 a day. How can I create this income? I've just retired and I'm dedicating full-time to trading, and I was having a great start to the past month until I tried a signal service which put me back $700. I'm getting back to flow trading tomorrow, which is one of our strategies. And I'd like your advice on how I could, and how I could create the 100 to 150 a day. I had 11 straight wins with 10 to 20 pips profit until I tried the signal service. And I think there's a lesson in there itself, to be honest with you. I'm trading only the currencies because in the US you have to have a separate account for you. Okay, so basically what this guy is saying is, how can he generate $100 to $150 a day? And I guess I'm going to have to say the account size just to put it all in perspective. So this guy's got about $10,000 in his account. He wants to create $100 to $150 a day. Now, first of all, you need to take a step back and kind of say, well, what is that in terms of in a month? So $150 a day, you got 20 days a month. You're looking at roughly $3,000 a month, which is about 30% return on your account, which is high, to be honest with you. It's not impossible, but 30% a month consistently, month on month is high. And it's a bit of an ask. And I think if you kind of shoot for that, you're going to put yourself in a position where you're going to blow up your account. Having said that, how do you create $100 to $150 a day? So if you want to be a bit more aggressive about your trades, okay, in your day trading, that seems to be what you're doing here. If you want to be aggressive about your trades, you can take, if you break it down like this, if you take maybe 2, 3, 4 trades a day, if they're available, you don't force them, but if they're available and you have a stop loss of say, I don't know, let's hypothetically $25 with a target, let's say you're going 2-to-1 of $50, okay? From that perspective, you only need sort of, 2 out of your 3 trades to be winning trades, and you generate that income if you break it down like that. However, as I said, to consistently produce 30% a month, unless you're taking excessive risk, is a bit of a tall ask. But if you start looking to generate $50 a day, okay, then you know that that's possible. Then you bump that up, maybe put a bit more money into your trading account, that becomes $100 a day, and so on and so forth. And then you let your profits compound on themselves, and then, before long, you're creating the income that you want. In terms of making that $100 a day mark based on the account size that you have, it's very, very possible. As I said, you just need to break it down. Look at your trades. How many trades are you taking on a day on an average basis? Break that down into components, and then kind of work it out from there. So I hope that helps. If you need more clarity around that question, please feel free to pop me another email and I will go into more depth there. Okay, here. So Louis says, what do you think of the pound? Do you think it will continue to fall? How about the US election, dollar rise or fall? Okay, so do I think the pound will continue to fall? It's Friday morning. We had the flash crash last night. So yes, it's going to continue to fall. But this question actually came in on Tuesday, and my answer, if it had been on Tuesday, was yes, it's going to continue to fall. As we're starting to sort of focus on where the pound is going to, as we start to focus on Brexit rather, which came out as a result of the weekend, then the pound obviously is going to get weaker. Will it get a great deal weaker from here? I'm not sure. We're going to have to wait to see what the Federal Reserve do in the coming months and the noises that they start to make. Because, also an answer to the question here about the US election, everything's very much up in the air at the moment. So on the one hand, you have the pound. There's no reason for it to be strong right now. But, how weak can it get? We're at sort of 31-year lows already. For it to get significantly lower, obviously, we need to have more negative sentiment come out of the UK. And also a bit more positivity coming out of the US. And as we know, the data out of the US at the moment has been relatively mixed. So election year or not, there's a number of different factors that are weighing on the currency at the moment. In the long term, can we see the dollar going higher and the pound going lower? Yes, we can. That's kind of fundamentally where we're positioned at the moment. But whether that plays out over the next weeks or next couple of weeks, I'm not sure. We need to see what comes out in terms of the economic indicators over the coming weeks. Okay, so long term, yes, definitely. Immediately, as in the next day or two, yes. In the next couple of weeks, not entirely sure. Okay, last question for today. We have it from a lady called Anne. The main question, love that. Let's put that on silent. The main question I have is in regards to the sniper strategy, which is something that we teach in our day trading academy. I've recently backtested with the 6 range charts on my screen, but I've used a fixed stop of 15 points with a take profit, target 1 of 15 and a target 2 of 30 points. So 1-to-1 on the first target and 2-to-1 on the second target. Move my stop to break even when the position is 10 points in profit. I've backtested this using data from the 11th of December 2015, so about 10 months worth of data. And in this time, the system has shown to generate 897 points trading just between 8 a.m. to 9:50 p.m. This is still work in progress, but so far I have the data on 84 trades. Well, to be honest with you, so far you're doing well. I think you've actually proved it to yourself that what you're doing makes sense. If it's not broken, don't fix it. However, we go on. Looking at the training, you say that you mainly use the 2-point range chart or the 4-tick chart, and you exit your position if it doesn't immediately go with the trade. I've been screen watching over the last few weeks, and I've noticed that quite often the trades may go 4 to 6 points against and then will go with me, and my profit target 1 would have been hit. If you entered a trade, would you cut it when it goes 4 to 5 points against you and then look for another entry? I'm just a bit confused as to why I've always had a fixed stop. Maybe this is the smaller time frame, it isn't right for me, but I'd really like to get an understanding of this before. Okay, so basically what this lady is saying is she uses a fixed stop, okay, which is working well for her. So the first thing I would say, Anne, if you're watching this, is, if it's working well for you, don't fix it. You need to tailor things to something that suits your personality. And if you can find something with more rules, and that's going to be better because your emotions are going to come into play a lot less than the way that I trade. Now, what Anne is getting at is that when I trade, so on my live trading sessions, you'll see that I'll be in the market, I'll be out of the market, in, out. I'm quite flexible, so I have a catastrophic stop loss. But if I see the market is going nowhere, then I might come out of the trade and then get back into it again. By the same token, when I get into a trade and it's moving with me, I'll come out of it if the momentum is starting to go against me. So basically it's saying, would I get out of a trade if it immediately goes against me 4 or 5 points? Not necessarily. It really depends on the situation. So for example, I've been waiting for a trade, let's say the market had been moving up and there were fundamentally, I believe that, we were going to be bullish for the day. So I was looking for long opportunities and then I got into a trade. I might get into a trade and say, actually, this is one to hold. And if this is one to hold, then I might put my catastrophic stop in and I'll give it a lot more room to kind of wiggle about. However, let's say, for example, that I'm still bullish on the day, but I get a short opportunity. And being a day trader, you need to take advantage of all of the opportunities that you get as long as they're valid. So I get a short opportunity, but my bias for the day is long. I might get into that trade, but I'd give it far less time to wiggle against me than I would if I was going in the direction of the longer term trend. So on some occasions, I might get out if it immediately goes against me. On other occasions, I wouldn't. More often than not, I get out of a trade early if it moves sideways. So if it immediately goes against me, it's almost by my stop loss. There's no point in coming out of it, immediately. I may as well just see what happens and let it hit my stop loss. If I get into a trade and I've been sat in it for, let's say, 20 minutes and it's more or less where I got involved in the trade, then I might come out for a small loss or a small profit. Okay? So, last part of that question there. Also, would you use a sniper system on any FX pairs? You can do. I don't use the sniper system a hell of a lot on the FX pairs. I prefer using flow trading for that. But you absolutely can do. I guess it's just a bit of a personal preference. Okay, so that wraps up this week's Trader Q&A. As I said, I've got a bunch more questions that I have to get through, which I will do. I promise you, over the coming days and weeks, I'll put out many, many more of these videos where I'll get through all of those questions. I just didn't want to put together a video that was like an hour long and you get bored of it. So I'm going to make these short and sharp, sort of 4, 5, 6 questions per video. And hopefully we'll get through them that way. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel. Remember, subscribing to the channel will get you not only this video, but any other video that we upload. So, if you enjoy watching our videos, subscribe and you'll get a notification from YouTube as soon as we upload something. So you'll be at the forefront of all of the stuff there. And also, obviously, if you subscribe, it lets us know that you're enjoying it. And it will kind of motivate us to make more videos. Please feel free to post a comment beneath the video. Ask any other questions that you want. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching this week's Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this is a start of some fantastic things to come. Happy trading and have a great weekend. Take care now.